What's good, gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Life as a man is a game, should you choose to view it that way. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. I guess life as a man is a game, how to turn your life into a game, how to gamify your life. Either way, life is a game. I choose to look at it this way. I've chosen to look at it this way for quite a few years now. As I've navigated the confines of my mind, as I've navigated this 3D world, and I've made leaps and bounds in my life that sometimes I've had to catch myself and pinch myself and say, what the fuck is going on? Like, is this real? And one thing I've realized is that as a young man, as you're going through this life, as you're building yourself up and you're navigating the tumultuous seasons that we all, inevitably experience, there's two types of men. There's the men that are going to succumb to the pressure, that they're going to become a victim and ultimately give up. They're going to wallow in despair and not take accountability and not dig deep and fight back. And then you have the other caliber of men, the men who are the dogs, the men who are different, the men who are going to be in position of high esteem and glory, like you always hear me talk about, the men who are tenacious, the men who are unwavering, right? The men who just don't care, they're going to get the job done, right? You have two different breeds. And whatever you choose to call these two types of men, whether you want to call them, which you will probably never hear me say these terms on my channel outside of this context in this video. I've never said these words, but whether you want to call these men beta or alpha or whatever terms that you guys choose to, look at, right? But I've always chosen to be the man that was going to spearhead and to be the man that was going to look at life as possibilities. It's not hard to tell, bro, if you've been subscribed to me now for a little bit. I speak from pain. I've been through a lot of pain in my life, bro. A lot. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to be one of these guys that gets on here and tells you that life should be easy. No, life as a man should be hard. We're the protectors. We're the keystone members of the household. We have to guide. We have to lead. And in order for us to be equipped to lead other people, to lead our women, our family, our communities, our organizations, our businesses, we have to first lead ourselves, as I always tell you guys, right? And so one thing that's helped me overcome seasons of agony, because the truth is, guys, life is pretty good, not gonna lie. I've got a pretty good life, you know what I'm saying? But I still live with agony, bro. I still have traumas that I'm working on every single day. I still have, a reality that I go face off the camera and family and things, intricacies that I'm dealing with, right? Things that I'm tending to, as we all are. And one thing that really helped me from being that insecure kid that used to blame people, I told you guys, as a younger kid, I was neurotic. I used to be so, fervent in my nature as it pertains to overreacting over the littlest of things. And now I'm able to view my life from a third perspective, a third person perspective, like it's an RPG game, and understand that I can take myself, stop, be poised, and choose my next move and choose where I'm gonna go in life, right? Instead of just being in POV and being reactive. And so as I started to get outside of myself and view my life as if it were a video game or a movie, and I went through my different experiences and I got my battle scars, right? I started to get wiser and wiser. And there's been certain pivotal moments in my life where I've had to kind of just like have an outer body experience to say, this is life. I realized that I had willed certain situations into my life. I had literally willed certain experiences into my life. It felt like I was living in an alternate reality. I remember one time it hit me real. I told you guys, back when I used to work for FedEx and I was driving a truck, I was driving because I had torn my ACL and my basketball dreams were pretty much gone. And I didn't have any money and I had to live in the agony of having a partially torn ACL. And so I remember I used to just be so obsessed with personal development, becoming the best man I could be. I had my whiteboard, I had my task every day. I was in the gym at 5 in the morning, taking care of myself, reading books, like buying courses, doing all this different stuff. And I remember like a year and a half after I took this photo of me being in that FedEx truck, and that was a shitty day, by the way. That was a real shitty day, right? It was raining, I was soaked. You know what I mean? Like, my cousin just had died. A year and a half after that, not only did I get my surgery, but I'm in the back mountains on the countryside of Italy, driving around looking at the cattle and the castles. And in this moment, I had an outer body experience. Like, what the fuck? I was driving back from getting a rehab in Rome, right? And the drive from Rome to where I was staying at, like a little tiny city, was like a good hour and like 15 minutes. And I'm here in the back roads in the countryside of Italy, just like thinking like, damn, bro, I finally got that $25,000 and I got my surgery and I'm driving back from rehab in Italy. Like, this shit feel like a video game, bro. And it's like, so I chose to take the scenic route home today on the countryside because a lot of you haven't, which I'm shocked, haven't asked me what does the countryside of Italy look like, because I've been showing you guys Rome and Milan and all that stuff, but some of y'all want to see how the countryside looks. So I'm about to show y'all real quick.
Continue on SP45F for 15 kilometers.
So I'm currently in the mountains right now, right? I'm about to show y'all. So I'm in the mountains right now. This is how it pretty much looks. I would say this reminds me a little bit of, like Colombia. There's just a bunch of sheep, horses, like castles and everything. And the old style houses, like, for example, that house over there, that's a castle. If I can show you that joint, I don't know, but this is pretty much how the countryside look. Very beautiful. So that's what I'm talking about. The castles right there. Legitimate castles. Crazy scenery. But this is how the countryside looks. A lot of rich people and celebs come here like to get like ducked off, you feel me, like off the grid. This is the perfect place to come off the grid, trust me. I've been off the grid now for like a month and a half. You know what I mean? So it's like there's been certain moments in my life where I've had to like snap out of it and realize a man chooses the outcome of his life, bro. You can turn your life into a game. You see, every hardship, every tough season, moving forward after I've acknowledged this, I choose to look at it as a different level. Every chapter, every season is a different level, and you can build your character up. I told you guys that ever since I was a kid, even though I grew up in the hood, even though I had a bad stutter, even though I come from an impoverished mentality, right? I always wanted to be like James Bond, Bruce Wayne, right? I looked up to many different fictional characters, Static Shock, whatever. I always wanted to be a polyglot, somebody who was, handsome, good style, had beautiful women around him, charming, elegant, witty. And like, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm exactly what I wanted to be. I built my character. I'm working on my 7th language right now, Chinese, right? And sometimes I've had to snap out of it. I remember one time, this was probably 2 years ago, I was chilling one night in my apartment in Colombia, right? And I was just like sitting down, that my girlfriend had just left the crib, and I was just like on the couch, sitting down, and I started talking to myself, right? I talk to myself all the time. Like I told you guys, I'm talking to myself right now. You guys aren't really here with me. This is a piece of plastic and metal. But I was talking to myself like, yo, aún yo no puedo creer que realmente yo hablo español. ¿Cuándo lo aprendí? Wow, como, hijo de puta. Yo lo hablo. Like, I was talking to myself like, when the fuck did I learn Spanish? I had heard Spanish my whole life. I never fucking understood it. It sounded like it sounded crazy. But once I started to build my character up and I got in tune with that frequency, right? Once I wanted to become this man, that man already existed. I just had to unlock the level. I had to unlock that level, bro. And so this is how I look at life. Where I'm going now, I'm studying Chinese right now. It's quite difficult, but I'm starting to pick it up a little bit more. And I remember I was at the airport and I was in line. I was getting this rental car. And there was this Chinese couple in front of me. And like, I'm understanding some of the things that they're saying. I was like, holy shit, I'm really picking up Chinese. And I had like, it's so crazy to me, guys, but like, this shit is really like a video game, bro. So anything that you're going through, any hardship that you're facing right now, try to shift your perspective and look at it as a level that you gotta get through, right? And acquire, whether it's chips, rings, whatever you need to acquire, right? Along this level to level up. If you choose to look at your life this way, the agony becomes somewhat more enjoyable, right? Because, again, I've had some dark seasons, bro. I've had many dark seasons, bro. I've been abused as a kid, bro. I've seen some things that I shouldn't have. And one of the only things that helps me deal with all this pain and anger and frustration that I have is by choosing to live life like a game and ultimately serving you guys. Because I believe that we're all equipped to serve the former versions of ourselves. So you right now watching this video, a lot of you guys told me that you want to start a personal brand and you want to get online and start helping guys. Anything that you overcome, you can already give people that's in a lower level than you. You can give them game. You can help them come up, right? And so your test, the test in life that life gives you, will become your testimony. And I've chosen to look at life this way. And now anytime that I have some hardship, I'm like, okay, we got an opportunity to level up, right? We got an opportunity to level up. Bet. And it doesn't matter how hard the mission gets. I've never been one of those bitch ass niggas to hit start and to hit quit or restart. I hate people like that, man. I used to play Tekken with my cousin, and anytime I was kicking his ass, he used to freaking hit start and freaking hit quit. I can't respect a man like that, bro. I swear to God. I can't respect a man like that, bro. Or he would freaking use this one dude, man, and like spam the same button and do the same move and just kick me, just kick me, just kick me. And sometimes life is just gonna keep kicking you and kicking you, kicking you, pressing the same button, kicking you, kicking you, kicking you. I learned to beat my cousin by shifting laterally and anticipating that kick, sweeping him down, and just staying on top of him. And that's what you gotta do with life. You gotta maneuver sometimes. Life could be kicking your ass. You gotta be so accustomed to getting your ass kicked that life's triviality and life's cyclic nature becomes predictable. And so you sidestep and you sweep that motherfucker. You see, I just lost my brother. I told you guys this. The pain is visceral. The pain is deep, and I'm still dealing with it. That's the reason I keep on bringing it up. And it fucking hurts. But every time I've leveled up, I've lost something, or I've had to sacrifice. And so in a weird way, I just know that something big is coming for me and for my family. You know, in previous years, every time I've leveled up, I've lost greatly, or I've had to sacrifice. And sometimes oftentimes that sacrifice and that loss was me sacrificing myself and my old ways for new ways, for ways that better served me, or sacrificing friends. I made it to level 45, they're still on level 17, and I love them. There's nothing that's gonna put a rift between us, and I'm gonna try to help them to get up to level 45, but we're just on two different levels now. I can't go back down. What's the point? It's like beating a game and now you're just driving around in the free open world. You can drive around, you feel me, and look for what? A collectible here or there, but it's not that exciting, right? And so as you level up, you're gonna have to push yourself around other big dogs. And I found myself, like I said in the last video, I've just been bumping into highly successful people, and I'm eager to learn. I'm eager to, you know, be in that circle and grow and develop myself as a man. I've got a lot to learn, and I'm very proud and I'm very present for the journey. But this journey is not short of pain. It's not short of agony. In fact, I would argue it is plentiful of agony and pain and shit that you will have to eat as a man. But so long as you can look at your life as if your life was a graph, and on a macro level, over time it's going up. Yes, there's gonna be dips, like there's dips in the market, but over time, gradually you're going up. We have to think about the macro perspective. And as I've gamified my life, I've looked at the macro perspective. Yeah, sometimes you may have to repeat a mission. That's cool, but you get better. I've had to repeat certain missions and certain lessons over and over again until I finally got it right. And sometimes I've got it right and I've barely skated by the mission that I had to do 4 times. I might have gotten a C- or a C+ on that mission. And yeah, I passed it and I could have went to the next level, but I said a C+ isn't good. Let's go for an A+. Let's really master this level. So when I get to this one, you know, I'm still gonna feel the effects of that C. If I get it right now, when I get to here, I'm gonna be fully aligned with the man that I'm supposed to be. And so this is how I've chosen to look at life. I don't take any shortcuts. I don't take any, you know, I don't skip the process. I don't. I look at life as a game. I understand shit's gonna come. People gonna fall out, whether it's a woman that you're dealing with. Man, these girls come and go, bro. Let them go. Whether it's a friend that you had a falling out with, it's cool, it's all love, but I know where I'm going. A man has to always be focused on where he's going. You can be present and engage with the rather frivolous things that we all experience as human beings. That's inevitable. We have to tend to different areas in our life in this plane. But ultimately, a man should be focused on that North Star. And that North Star should be completing the game. How do you complete the game? Well, to me, you complete the game where when money no longer drives you. We all need money, I know that. But when money no longer drives you, you see, once you've accomplished so much to where you're comfortable with yourself financially, mentally, spiritually, you've done the work on yourself mentally, spiritually, you have faith, right? You have love, right? You have the resources, the monetary gain. Once you get to that point, you now go into what I like to call the quadrant of service, right? You now go into serving people and helping people level up. This was ultimately your calling from the beginning, which is why you had to go through all this shit. And once you get to that point, it's time to get back and serve. It's never just been about you and your shitty story. It's been about you utilizing that shitty story to help others. You guys hear me talk about all the time monetizing your pain. And I told you how ironic it is that me, a young Haitian kid, right, first generation Haitian American who had a speech impediment that got joked on for how I spoke English, is now speaking for a living. I get invites to podcasts. People want to speak to me. People pay me to speak to me. If you gamify your life, you're able to gain a perspective of, wow, this is what it was all for. And I see a lot of you guys are wandering around. You don't know what your purpose is, right? You don't know what you're called for. Like I told you in a previous video, you've got to go towards that fear and that shame that you feel. You got to face yourself. You might be on level 45 right now. You might be a guy that's making multiple 6 figures, multiple $1 million. I have a lot of successful men that watch me, bro. You might be that successful guy on paper, but you know back on level 23, you made it through with a C- and you skated by. And that shit's fucking you up inside as a man. You gotta go back and correct that shit. You see, when I was a freshman in college, because I was playing basketball, one of my math teachers put me through algebra. I had failed that class 3 times. I was never good at math. And because he put me through, just because I played ball, it fucked me up. I failed all the other math classes I had, bro. You can't skip no steps, bro. It's gonna come back to haunt you. So I would rather complete the level on expert level as opposed to playing on a setting that's easy mode and I get through. I wouldn't be able to live with myself as a man. And so beating the game looks like you're now in service mode and you're serving and giving back to people. Beating the game is when you don't care about what anybody thinks about yourself. You're a righteous man. You can look yourself in the mirror and be proud. You have integrity behind closed doors. You're not putting on a false facade. You've beat the game then. Well, some might ask, well, Dudley, what happens after you beat the game? Well, self-actualization. You realize what you were called here for, right? And you start to just flow through life, right? You build a legacy, leave a legacy, and ultimately, I believe, these are the men that truly make their mark on the world. These are the men that are truly, held in high esteem, that are marveled at for generations to come. I'm still figuring things out as I go through my journey in life. But one thing that has helped me operate and live with clarity and brevity has been gamifying my life. I mean, life, without a doubt, is convoluted. I believe it has to be in many ways, but when a man is able to navigate through these streets and life's complexity and get to a place where he can be in peace, in an elevated position, and be thankful for all the shit he had to go through, and then go back down and serve when he has no need to do it. I mean, that's a righteous man. That's an honorable man right there. And so I know at my core, I've always wanted to guide, I've always wanted to serve. And I'm going through certain things that are cultivating me and making me the man equipped enough to serve. Right? But shit. Gamifying my life has given me everything. It's helped me deal with my pain. It's helped me deal with my shame, my embarrassment. Shit, I've made myself the exact man I've always wanted to be. You guys don't understand, bro. And it's cool. Perhaps it's not for you to understand. The same way it's not for other people to fully understand you watching this video right now. But, man, life as a man is indeed a game. And you can choose to play that motherfucker the correct way until you beat it, or you could be one of these dudes that just kind of skate by, or you stuck here, or you hit start and you change the settings and put it on easy mode, or you hit start and you hit quit and you have no honor, no integrity. But some guys, bro, they build their exact life the way they wanted to. They take the necessary, actionable steps to build their life up. And they really maximize their life. And they beat the game on legendary mode. And I have tremendous amounts of respect for those men. And so does the rest of society. What's crazy is the men who take the road that's less traveled get so much hate on them. Rather, I should say hate on us, because I am one of those men. But at the end of the day, righteousness, integrity, and a man who is honorable always prevails. Life as a man is a game. Choose the kind of man that you want to become and work towards it every day. Build your dream life. Build your reality. Take yourself out of your life and view yourself as if you were from a third perspective, as if you were in an RPG game, and look at your moves and say, should I take this left or should I go straight? Should I take this right? This person did this to me. Should I react this way? Nah, let's sit back. Let's give it a few more minutes and move accordingly, and watch how you start to flow through life and flow through all the bullshit. Don't take any shortcuts, the easy route. Be a man of integrity. Gentlemen, that's the video. So
mobbing with my brothers, there's no question, keep it real. Whether we East coastin' or we in the hidden hills, in the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills. Heard you callin' bluffs, I show and prove, yeah, it's for real. Son of God, not a son of Sam. Keep it off the books and keep it coming in. Bitch, the old whip, see what I'm coming.